So inshallah we'll go ahead and start. So we will do ayat number 63 and 64 of Surah Al-Baqarah. These ayats are still about Bani Israel. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these two ayats is reminding the Bani Israel, the children of Israel, what are the things that were done in the past regarding to them. So we'll just first do a simple translation and then we'll go into the great details of these. So the ayat number 63 starts with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa idh akhazna. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to Bani Israel directly by saying wa idh akhazna, and when we took. Mithaqakum, mithaq is an oath or a covenant between two parties. So we took your oath or your mithaq, and then when at the time of Musa alayhi salam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Bani Israel were having this mithaq, as a sign, as a token, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised the mountains above their heads. So this is what's being mentioned. وَرَفَعْنَا, and Allah says that we raised. Fawqakum means above you, above your heads. At-Tur, the mountain, the mount of Tur. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them, Khudhu, take, hold. Ma ataynakum, what we have given you, the mithaq, the agreement. Okay? Biquwwatin means firmly, with quwwat, hold tight. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wadhkuru, and remember or mention, Ma fihi, what is in this mithaq, what is this in this agreement. And the details of this mithaq are mentioned somewhere else in the Quran. A list of those are mentioned in different places. Fihi la'allakum tattaqun, so you may become muttaqi, or you become righteous people. So what happened after that? After the Bani Israel agreed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this mithaq, they broke it. They did opposite to what the agreement, what they had submitted themselves to follow, they broke it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next ayat is reminding them by saying, ثُمَّ تَوَلَّيْتُمْ, then you turn back. You turn away. مِن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ, after that, after the mithaq was established, then you turned back, you broke the mithaq and you went away. Then Allah says that this was some crime that you had committed, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was still merciful to you. And then Allah says, فَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ, and if it was not the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fadl of Allah, or mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alaykum, upon you, wa rahmatuhu, and His mercy, His rahmah. If Allah had not done, because your crime was so big, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had not shown His fadl, His mercy and His grace upon you, lakuntum min al-khasirin, you would have been among the losers, among those who have khasar. Okay? So these are the two ayats and the simple translation of the two ayats. So let's look at the breakdown of that. So the first two words are وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا. وَإِذْ, and simple, wa means and idh means when. And as I mentioned before, when idh is used, it is used for the past history. If some history of the past is being mentioned, then the word idh is used. If something of present and future is used, then idha is used. So in the Quran, whenever you see the word or the ayat is starting with the word idh, that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to talk about something that took place in the history. So وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا, and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in the past what happened, the word is akhadna. Okay, so let's look at that word. Akhadna starts with these three letters, alif, ha, and dal. Okay? And the meaning of this is to take or to hold. To take something or to hold something. That is the meaning of akhadha, alif, ha, and zal. Okay? And if we look back into the rule that if we have these three letters, fa'ala, which means to do, and if we put a na at the end, fa'alna, this means we did. So adding a na in the three root letters bring the meaning of we, plural, first person, and the past tense. Fa'alna. Okay? So if we do the same thing with these three letters, this will become akhadna. Okay? Akhadna means we took. Okay? So the word is here in the Quran, akhadna, we took. And here we is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using the word we for himself. وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا, and when we took. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the Bani Israel directly by saying, reminding them something in the past, and when we took. Means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we took. Okay? What is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying we took? The word is mithaqakum. So let's look at those words. Okay. So the word starts with these three letters, waw, sa, and qaf. These are the root letters of the word mithaq. So mithaq is written like that. Mithaqun is the word actually. Mithaqun is an agreement between two parties, or an ahad, a promise. Okay, and one of the word is in English is covenant. Covenant is an agreement between two parties. Mithaq and ahad, a promise. Okay.
So the first letter is waw or mim?
Wow. This means to make an agreement, wasaqa, and the rule is that we have to add a meme to make a noun, like Muhsin, Muslim. Okay. So in this case, mithaq is the word, which is created by these three letters. So mithaq, and then kum means you. Kum means you, plural you. And kum is pointing to Bani Israel, the children of Israel. Okay? So at the time of Musa alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made an agreement with the children of Israel. Okay? So mithaqun and kum, when you combine these together, this will be pronounced mithaqukum. Okay? So the word will become mithaqukum. Can be written like that. Mithaqukum. Okay. Mithaqukum. Another question. Mithaqukum, like this. Okay. So you don't pronounce one dhamma here when you combine these two noun and pronoun. So combination will be pronounced mithaqukum. Your mithaq, which means an agreement between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You had a question?
Yes. This mithaq is between Allah and all the souls, right?
No. This is only Bani Israel.
Okay.
This is the story about the Bani Israel. When Musa alayhi salam was present,
Okay.
Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made an agreement with Bani Israel.
Okay.
So this is that Mithaq, not the Mithaq that was made by all the human beings at the time of creation of Adam alayhi salam. This is not that.
Not the same Mithaq.
No, this is a different one. That was Alastu birabbikum, when Allah says, am I not your Lord to all the souls? Qalu bala, they replied yes. So that Mithaq took place even before we were created. Okay? By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time of, even before or after the creation of Adam alayhi salam. That's totally different thing. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing Bani Israel that we made an agreement with you. We made an ahad. We said something, you will worship me, and you said yes, we will worship you. So, and there are a list of those things that are part of the Mithaq. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them. So your covenant your Mithaq. Okay? So now when this was happening, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a sign or as a token raised the mountains, the mountain of Tur, Mount of Tur, above the heads of the Bani Israel. Okay? And this was a sign Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed. So that is what Allah is mentioning, وَرَفَعَنَا. So let's look at that one. So the root letters are Ra, Fa and Ain. This means to raise. Rafa'a means to lift something or to raise something high. Okay? And the word Rafa'ana, if I put a noon at the end, Rafa'ana will means we raised. Just like this example here, we put a na at the end, means we did something. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying we raised. Warafa'ana, and we raised. And we lifted high. Okay? Now the word, next word after that is fawqun. Fawqun means above. Okay. Fawq means above. And kum means you. Again, you all. Okay. So when you combine these two words, they will be pronounced fawqukum, above you. Okay? Okay. Now, I want to remind two things here. The word, if we combine these two, will be fawqukum. One dhamma will go away. So it will become fawqo, kum. Okay? Similarly, going back here, the word was misaqokum when we combined misaqun and kum.
Fawqakum here.
Yes, that's what I'm explaining.
Okay.
Okay? By simple combination, the original word is fawqun.
Yeah.
When you combine fawqun with the kum,
Yeah.
there will be fawqokum, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this qaf has a dhamma at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now fawqun is a noun. Okay. If a noun comes after a verb, then its dhamma changes into a fatha.
Oh.
Okay. We have seen this rule a few times, and just remind one more time. For example, if you have this word khalaqa, means he created. Okay? And you have the word al-insanu. Khalaqal insanu. Okay? The word is insanu. Okay? Insano is a noun,
Oh.
and it has one dhamma at the end. And separately the word is khalaqa, which is a verb,
Yeah.
and this is a noun. When a verb
Oh.
and noun are combined, and noun comes after the verb, then this last dhamma here changes into a fataha.
Okay.
That's the rule of the grammar. Okay? So separately the word is khalaqa, al-insanu. When you will read together,
Khalaqal insan.
then it will be recited khalaqal insana. Okay, that's the rule. So by the same rule, we have the word here, akhazna, it's a verb.
Verb.
And after the word was misaqu.
Misaqu.
It became misaqa. If you look in the print, the word is misaqa. There is a fatah on the qaf. Originally there was dhamma, misaqu. It became misaqa because it came after akhazna. Similarly, rafa'na is a verb here. Fawqukum will become fawqakum. Okay, originally it's a fawqukum, but we are bringing this after a verb. Rafa'na is a verb, it's a fail. So it will become fawqakum. Fawqakum is above you. Above you means above your heads. The mountain was raised above the heads of the Bani Israel.